Welcome back, Shalloners. Well, today, in honor of Jennifer Lopez's new movie, Hustlers, dropping, I wanted to talk about Jenny from the block. How she stays looking like vampirically beautiful and well-preserved, and how we can all age and still actually not even just stay sexy, get sexier, and what guys actually think about dating older chicks. We're going to break it all down. But first, just want to remind you guys, if you have a love question of your own, you want to talk to me privately about any little thing, find me on the Instant Go app. My username is ShallonXO, and click chat to get connected. But like I said, my website will be ready like so soon. Oh, I can't wait. But in the meantime, also connect with me on Instagram at ShallonXO, where I let you guys vote for the next topic of the video. You voted for this one. Wonderful. Came up with the idea. And listen to my podcast, Girl on Top, out every Wednesday, every place podcasts are found. So Hailey Lopez, I love her. And you know who else loves her? Dudes. Dudes that I date. And I date 23-year-old dudes. Like, Jennifer Lopez's appeal spans like time and space. She appeals to like so many different races, so many different cultures. She's just like, she's a smoke show. And if I worked out, I would have her body. Like, you know, if I like put in a modicum of effort, like we have the exact same shape. And here I am, and there she is. So great. So we've talked about J-Lo before and how like she's basically a narcissist, and that has drawn her into this relationship with A-Rod and multiple relationships. Like she can't not have a man. Like she cannot be alone. Even like her manager and her family has said this about her in public interviews. Like that's how dominant of a trait this is. So I'll let you guys go watch that. But today I want to talk about her physicality. She is 50 years old. 50. Like I was talking to my ex-boyfriend the other day and he's like, oh my God, she's so hot even though she's 40. I was like, bro, she's 50. And he's like, even better. Now I understand that if a guy's dating me, because I like him young, they probably like older chicks. But it took me a while to realize that like most guys like older chicks. So the foundation to staying sexy as you get older is to stop thinking it's a one or the other thing. You know, like an ex told it to me this way. He's like, if I was to date a younger girl, he was like 23 at the time. He's like, if I would date a 19-year-old, my friends would be like, oh man, you like conned her. Basically like she fell for it. She fell for my bullshit. Like she's probably drama. She's like, like hyper and everything. He's like, but if I were to date, when I started dating you, someone older, my friends were like, whoa, you must have leveled up, dude. Because guys know and assume that older chicks are not going to put up with the bullshit. They're not just going to go for a scrub. They're not going to go for a fuckboy. They're not going to go for some broke loser. They have really high standards because their life is together. And if you want to be in this life, you got to have it together too, right? You got to be hot. You got to be ambitious. You got to be smart enough and mature enough to keep up with me. And even if we're the same age, I'm always going to be more mature. Girls always are. So like when he told me that, it really like shifted my perspective on like dating younger dudes. And I've done videos. I have a whole playlist on age differences in dating. And I am a huge advocate of dating younger guys. Like, you know, I always say like if all things are equal, if they're a douchebag, at least they're hotter. You know, I'm not going to take the fuckery from a balding dude with a pot belly. Okay. And I think guys like my age are worse fuckboys because they assume that all girls my age want to do is get married and have babies. I don't. Okay. I'm A-okay on my own. Look at my life. It's dope. But younger guys, like that's not on their mind yet. So it's like, oh, we can actually craft a relationship based on like how we relate, not just like I'm checking things off, you know, like my life to-do list. Maybe I'll get there at one point, but for now I'm not. So the secret to being older and sexy, like I said, it really is attitude. And like I am hopefully older than you think. I hope you don't think that I'm age. By the way, the age on my Wikipedia profile is not real. There is somebody out there who keeps changing it. Every time I have my publicist change it back, within like an hour, they've corrected it. And I'm like, or not corrected it. They've like made it up. At one point they said I was 53. Then for a while it was lingering at 45. I am not. I am in my 30s, but I actually don't talk a lot about my age. I never even told my ex-husband how old I was. I mean, he like figured it out, but like I didn't tell him. I just don't speak on it because I think words have power. And if I dwell on like the age, my government age, like I'm going to think like, oh, well, I shouldn't be acting like that, or, oh, I shouldn't be wearing this, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no. One of my friends is trans, like a girl I used to work with. And she's like, Shallon, it's almost like you're trans, but like with your age and not your gender. And I was like, I feel seen. I feel understood. Because it's true. It's like, I don't feel my age, and I never have. And I've always kind of had an issue with getting older. Like, I think my family instilled into me like really, really perhaps too much that like youth and beauty is currency. It is a currency, and you got to spend it wisely, because it's not going to be here forever. And when it's gone, it's gone, you know? And so I kind of like, I'm just a late bloomer. And like when I was 9, I didn't want to be 10. When I was 20, I didn't want to be 21, you know? And it's just always like, I just never feel like ready. It's like life is moving too fast. So it's like, well, I'm going to press pause then. Make me. So that, I think, keeps me young. I have a young attitude. I have a young vocabulary. I have a young way of conducting my life. I have a young spirit and a young soul, and it reflects outwardly, you know? And I know that sounds cheesy. It's like, just think young and you'll be young. But we know how the mind influences the body, right? We know what stress can do. It keeps weight on you. You lose sleep. It ties up your tummy. It releases cortisol, that terrible hormone that leads to cancer and diabetes and heart disease. We know that. That's a scientific fact. So ostensibly, the opposite would be true. If we're thinking positive thoughts, if we're thinking youthful thoughts, our body responds to that as well, right? So those are my dominant thoughts. They're on youth. They're on innovation. And I live a life that keeps me young. Like, there's a reason my audience here is like college girls. That's who I relate to. And I have said in the past that like trauma will freeze you at the age at which it occurs. And my father died when I was 22. And like in a lot of ways, like that's where I live, you know? And so I relate very well to other 22-year-olds, especially the boys. I mean, again, they're just hotter. They're hotter. Come on. So what can we learn from Jennifer Lopez? Well, Jennifer Lopez also has a really youthful spirit, right? Like, she has never like retired her coolness. She has always been on the cutting edge of trends, whether it's fashion, whether it's music. She's still like pursuing her acting career and all of that. Like, she's always expanding. She's always innovating. And that growth, that inherent curiosity is crucial to staying young. And it's crucial to being sexy at any age. I always say, interesting people have interests, right? They're doing things. They have stuff to talk about. So I'm just like, I'm fine. You know that Mama June, like Honey Boo Boo's mom, you know how old she is? She's 39. I thought she was like 50, 70. I don't know, because she's like a dumpster fire of a person. Like, she almost transcends age, but like not in a good way. She's on the opposite end of the spectrum as Jennifer Lopez, you know? It's just wild. So it just goes to show how different two people can be in kind of the same age bracket. And Jennifer's 10 years older. Are you kidding me? But Jen also does some very practical things. She doesn't drink. Rude. I don't appreciate that at all. But she doesn't. And like, the older I get, the more I'm realizing that like at some point the booze has got to go, which is annoying, because I'm sorry, as we get older, should we be getting like better at something? Shouldn't my body be processing alcohol more efficiently and not way less? I remember when one of my young boyfriends, he had his first hangover ever. He had just turned 24. He's like, what is this feeling? I was like, it's a hangover, dipshit. Welcome to the rest of your life. Like, you'd never experienced it. And I was like, whoa, it's a big old downshift from here. So Jen doesn't drink. She also does the maintenance. Do not listen to literally any celebrity who tells you they're all natural. It's gross. Okay? I don't want to age naturally. I don't do anything else that's natural. I dye my hair, right? I wear like unnatural polyester fabric. I wear fake metals on my body. It's like, I eat like Slim Jims and Funyuns, for God's sakes. No, oh no, I'm just so pure when it comes to like Botox. Hell no. I've been getting Botox since I was 22. Proud of it. It was preventative, and like it's worn off now. That's why the bangs are across. I'm actually going to do a video on fillers and Botox. That's going to happen later this month. So tune in for that. I'm going to be a little guinea pig. Don't worry. I'm not going to do anything wild. I've like had fillers before, and like, I don't think any of you guys were like, whoa, Shallon looks weird and surgerized. I hope not. If I did, just please keep it to yourself. But Jen does that. And like part of aging is being realistic about what you need to do to maintain things. So here's the routine. You got to stay out of the sun. You got to not smoke cigarettes, and you got to keep the stress low. Why these 3 things? Because these 3 things create free radicals. Now, free radicals are sort of like the terrorists of the cellular system. They gobble up the collagen inside of your skin. And you stop producing collagen around 18 years old, like just naturally. So the ways you can, well, I'll get into how you can build collagen. But so like cigarettes, sun, and stress eat it up. And when they eat all the collagen out of a cell, the cell collapses. And that's what creates a wrinkle, right? So you really have to use that sunblock moisturizer every day. And so retinols can help repair collagen. Same with like microneedling, like the Glow Pro. In the same way that like working out and like lifting weights, like the way you build muscle is because you're like making little microscopic tears in the tissue and then it like builds up bigger. It's the same in your skin. It's all kind of the same system. So Jennifer knows that. She's also Latin, so she's got that like skin that can be in the sun, and she's not going to get like a ton of sun damage like me with my like white Irish skin. I'm aging like a tuna sandwich left. It's terrible. So she does that. She gets the Botox, she gets the fillers. But one thing that she did that was smart, she never tried to wind the clock back. That doesn't work. That doesn't work for anyone. All you want to do is freeze time. You want to freeze it. You can wind like 5 years off your face, but it's like you see these Real Housewives who get these like facelifts, and of course then their neck and their chest is still like a turkey-ish mess. But like they're trying to undo 30 years of bad habits, of smoking, of drinking, of literally tanning on purpose, which is like insane to me. And it's like you can't. And then you're gonna hit this weird uncanny valley. So that's what plastic surgeons call it, where you look like not quite like a person, but not quite like an animatronic doll from Disneyland. It's a very weird place to hit. And it simply doesn't work. But overall, it really is attitude. You have to stay on top of everything. Like you have to stay on top of innovation. What's cool, right? Because I see so many like girls my age, like I feel like there's a huge divide right now with my peer group. It's like there's the mommies, there's like me, the career girls. And then there's, people like still trying to figure it out kind of in the middle. But it's like the moms, they almost take this like perverse pride in not knowing what anything is. I don't even know who Shawn Mendes is. It's like, all right, well, you sound lame and old. So congratulations, And maybe they're looking at me and be like, Shallon sounds like a teeny bopper. It's like, well, you are what you eat, whatever. But like that stagnation to me is indicative of a larger personality problem. Because if you have decided that like some part of the world, some part of like information is like not good enough for you anymore, that's not a person I want to be around. That's not a person who is interested in growth, in introspection, in innovation, and the new like frontiers. And look, I'm not saying if you don't know about Shawn Mendes, you're an asshole. But like if you have already decided that the markers of youth, the things that the youth culture is talking about is like, I don't do that anymore. Okay, youth is where innovation happens. Youth is where revolution happens, right? And why would we shut out that whole category of people? It's like, I'm an adult. Cool, I'm an adult too. I can still learn new words. It's dope. Actually, dope is not a new word. And I'm like so unhappy that it's back. I didn't like it at the time. And like now it's back. And there's always things to learn from the different generations. So open your mind, open maybe other body parts to the younger men and see what's out there. Because here's the benefit of dating younger dudes. They're going to keep you young too. And you can kind of like refine them to be like a better boyfriend. I've said this before about older guys, like, or guys my own age. If I date them and I'm like, don't do that. I don't like it when you do that. Like some behavior thing, like texting one-word answers or never making plans. They're like, well, fuck you. I'm going to go find a girl who's 10 years younger who doesn't want a baby. That's their attitude. I was like, great. Younger dudes, you give them a note and it's like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. Like they're just more amenable to growing and changing, I find. And not like, it's not about like manipulating someone or like molding them, and like preying upon them. It's about like, hey, you're going to level me up in terms of like new designers, new music, new words, whatever. You're going to keep my spirit young. I'm going to do something for you too. And now we're kind of going to meet in the middle. We're going to close that age differential in terms of emotional connectivity. And we're going to come together more as equals, right? And again, some people have just like written this off. It's like, I don't care. I don't need to do this. It's like, okay, more for me, more for Jennifer Lopez. I'm actually surprised J-Lo doesn't chronically date younger men. I mean, I guess A-Rod is. He's like 42. Again, he transcends age because he's such like a dad. He's such like a hot dog. I have never understood the deal with that guy. And I've been at events before with her other dude, Casper Smart, which by the way is a name he made up. His name is Bo, which is a perfectly lovely name. And he looks like a very short frog. I'm like, Jen, okay. But I think Jennifer Lopez's behavior has become a bit of a pathology, a bit of a youth obsession, you know? And I think it ties in with her latent narcissism. It's like, well, I can't get old. Other people can get old. I can't get old because when I get old, that means I'm going to be irrelevant. And you know how I know that? Same. I'm on the narcissism spectrum, if you can like call it that. So I get it. And now actually, as I say that, I'm like having an epiphany about myself. It's like, yeah, I equate age and being old with invisibility, you know? And so I never want to be invisible. I'm too much of a narcissist to let that happen. Huh. Interesting. But like, so what? Who cares? Sometimes personality disorders have a small upside, and I think this is one. I mean, I look good, and I'm living a great life, and I'm like fun, and I know, like, oh, look at that bruise. Oh, whoa. That comes from falling into a ball pit at an event that doesn't have a padded bottom. Again, my life. It's like an adult ball pit for like Instagram assholes. Anyway. So yeah, J-Lo, bit of a pathology there. But there's so much we can learn from her. And the thing I love most about her is that she shows off her sexuality and her power in a classy way. And I'm going to do a whole video contrasting her and Kylie Jenner and how they show off. Like, I'm going to wait till Kylie's Playboy pictorial comes out, like, because there's going to be a lot of content there. But yeah, Jen, it's like, you don't see ass crack. I don't know. It just comes from a place of power and of like, this is me, girl. Versus Kylie, which comes from a place of like needing that constant feedback and validation, you know? And I'm not saying Jennifer Lopez doesn't need validation. She's like an attention whore times a million for sure, but she does it in a way that makes sense. For her brand, it just works. And when I say guys like her, like I said, dudes literally half her age and younger are geeked on her. And one thing I've noticed is like, I try to ask every single guy I date, no matter what age they are, like, who their dream celebrity girls are. I've never once in my life heard Kylie. Never heard Kendall. I've heard Kim. I've heard Courtney all the time. Courtney, Sandra Bullock, Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Lopez, Kate Beckinsale. All of these chicks are like 40 and up. Kim's like 39, close enough. It's not about age. Get it out of your head that there's like your last fuckable day, like the Amy Schumer sketch, which is incredible. Like, it's whatever day you decide. If you keep your mind and your spirit young, then like the physical stuff, that's easy. That's just a few syringes at the doctor and some lasers and like you're good to go. It really does come from within, right? Tell me what you guys think. Is J-Lo like your queen as well? I love her. What do you think about Jenny from the block? Do you think it's time that she like covers up a little bit, or are you like a stand for a confident cougar chick? And who are your sort of confidence idols besides me? Like in terms of like being older and being sexy. And is there a scary age for you? For me, every age is a scary age. So I've opted out of it. I've opted out of age. I'm non-binary. I'm non-binary in terms of age. That's not right. Because I don't know. If someone wants to come up with a term for this, I would greatly appreciate it because I really think I'm going to be on the forefront of like transageism. Ageistness. We need a word. We need a word. It's in there because I know I'm not the only one who feels like this, and I shouldn't be. If you don't want to be your age, you don't have to, right? You just don't have to. For more, click like and subscribe for 4 new videos a week, and listen to my podcast, Girl on Top, out every Wednesday, where I answer your best questions of the week. And like I said, if you want to connect with me, find me on Instagram at ShallonXO, where I let you suggest and vote on the next video topic. Stay cool, hustlers. HUSTL, hustler.